Hi, everyone, and welcome to another Natural Grocers virtual nutrition education and cooking class. This time I am with Michelle, and she is going to talk about enhancing your immunity with a healthy gut. Before we get started, though, I did want to just tell everybody that your health is the most valuable resource. At Natural Grocers, one of our 5 founding principles is our dedication to providing nutrition education to communities we serve, thereby empowering our customers and our employees to take charge of their lives and their health. But like all academic fields, nutrition science compromises a variety of viewpoints. Our speakers and classes reflect a variety of perspectives that don't necessarily represent the views of Natural Grocers. We encourage you to listen to different viewpoints, but most of all, listen to yourself and your body to identify what is going to work best for you. The information presented by our events are as nutritional educational purposes only. It is not intended to prevent, treat, or diagnose any disease. Please remember that you should not be interpreted as medical professional advice to replace that of your physician or healthcare provider, but something to help you grow and learn. And with that, I'm going to pass this along to Michelle to get us started about the immune system.
Okay. Well, hello, everyone. I want to just first say that my name is Michelle Chanchamino, and I am a certified holistic health coach and certified fitness nutrition specialist. Because nutrition is so confusing, I personalize nutrition to each person. I do that just based on either based on your DNA or just on the goals that you're trying to accomplish. And I find that that works really well for people because after all, people just want to be healthy. They want more energy. They want better digestion. They want better skin. They just want to feel good. So personalizing nutrition is what I do, and I love the results. So I will go ahead and share my screen and bring up my presentation. Okay, so we're talking about enhancing your immunity with a healthy gut. A lot of people don't realize that the gut is involved in the immune system. Here's my little fun cartoon, the bacteria coming at the immune system. But let's just talk about what is the immune system. It's not just one thing. It's really a complex system of organs, tissues, and cells that all work together to fight harmful viruses, bacteria, parasites, fungi. It acts as a barrier between your body and the things that might be harmful to you, like those bacteria and parasites. And it has a couple of different parts of it. The first line of defense is actually against pathogens. It's actually the innate immune system. So it's a non-specific sort of type of response. And this response consists of physical, chemical, and cellular defenses against pathogens. The purpose of the innate immune response is to immediately prevent the spread of invaders throughout your body. So think about that as something like a cough, where something's trying to get into your body and you just are prompted to cough, or the buildup of excess mucus to trap bacteria and flush it away. Even your skin is like a physical barrier to bacteria entering the body. So those are kind of innate immune responses. The second line of defense is called the adaptive immune response, and that's acquired or specific immunity. And that response is more specific to each pathogen. By the way, if an adaptive immune response makes a mistake and attacks the immune system itself, that's when we have an autoimmune condition come up. So these responses are specific to attack a specific pathogen. So the way that works is that response mobilizes and increases B and T cells in your body to defeat a pathogen. So it's not an immediate response, but it is long lasting. So this slide just kind of shows a little bit more about that. So mucous membranes are part of the immediate or the first response. So you're always told not to touch your mouth, your nose, and your eyes because pathogens can enter through those mucous membranes, and they're using those white blood cells to fight infection. So the T and B cells create antibodies to fight invaders and destroy any infected cells. And also, by the way, an interesting fact is that those T and B cells have memory. So they remember pathogens that they've fought before, and they know what to do when they see them again. So that's kind of cool that our immune system has a memory, and it can fight those things again more effectively and efficiently. So the immune system, what compromises it? Well, a bunch of things can compromise it. Poor diet, which is like this lovely picture here. If you eat a diet that's very high in sugar and processed food and chemicals and very low in plant foods and real food is what I like to call it, that can compromise your immune system. Lack of exercise. Exercise helps us to move our lymphatic fluid, which helps carry the white blood cells into the body to fight infection. Lifestyle choices in general, like drinking too much alcohol, not getting enough sleep, poor hygiene, not washing your hands enough, things like that. Stress and, of course, an overaccumulation of toxins. If you're carrying a lot of toxins, your immune system's not going to work as well. That's a whole other presentation. But really, the health of the digestive system is greatly impacts the health of the entire body. So you may have heard the term microbiome. A microbiome is kind of like a garden or a little community of microbes that live inside your gut. And these are bacteria that regulate a lot of bodily functions, like your metabolism and your weight, your function of your brain and your immune system. And these are good bacteria. There's a mix of good and bad bacteria, and we all do have kind of a balance. But in addition to doing those things, these bacteria also extract and help the body utilize nutrients from the food, and they regulate, like I said, metabolism and elimination, and they're really critical to our long-term health. So when we think about good bacteria, I put a question mark there because it kind of sounds like it doesn't make sense, good bacteria, but we do have actually in our bodies, humans have more bacterial cells than real human cells. So there are a lot of bacteria in our body, and they live on the skin, in the nose and ears, but they're mainly in our gut, and they do support our digestion and actively support and fine-tune our immune system. So we want to, like I said, I call it a garden. So we want to tend to our garden. And some of the cells in the gut lining actually excrete massive amounts of antibodies into the gut to protect us from pathogens. So, 75 to 80% of the immune system actually resides in our gut. So that's a huge amount of immunity just coming from the gut. So you can see why we want to keep this gut healthy. And your garden should consist of a balance of good and bad bacteria, like I said. But there are over 500 species of microbes that exist, and some are harmful and some are helpful. So we want to have a lot of different bacteria in the garden, and they do different things and protect against different pathogens. So let's see. So when your gut's happy, your immune system is happy. So when you have a thriving population of beneficial bacteria, your immune system functions at a higher level. And when you have an unhappy gut, your immune function is really going to be compromised. And you will know that because you may experience uncomfortable symptoms like gas or bloating or constipation, even disturbances in your sleep and your mood. Weight fluctuations, food sensitivities come up. So when your gut is not balanced, all of those things can occur, and that's all affecting your immune system. Okay, so Let's talk about probiotics. So probiotics are the healthy bacteria. So the most important thing I think in regard to probiotics is to choose something with some different strains. So there are different ones out there. There's tons, like I said, there's tons of different strains, and there are some side benefits to incorporating probiotics into your day, into your routine, and those include better skin, better brain function, and even weight loss. So that's a good thing. So some of the beneficial strains I put on this slide include Lactobacillus acidophilus, Bifidobacteria, rhamnosus, B. longum, B. lactis, L. salivarius. There are a lot of them. You don't have to get one with a million different types of strains, but those are some of the ones that I wanted to just point out as strains that are helpful. Acidophilus actually has been shown to boost immunity. Bifidobacteria supports digestion, and people who have IBS type of symptoms, it's also helpful for that, and it's helpful in fighting some specific pathogens. L. rhamnosus also boosts immunity and can support skin and mood. The B. longum bacteria helps prevent the growth of harmful bacteria inside the intestines. And the B. lactis boosts the immune system and can reduce the severity of respiratory infections. So that's a good group to start with. And, you want to just choose something that's got a good mix of strains, and also one that has high CFUs, which are colony forming units. And prebiotics are also important, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. Let me go to the next slide. Let's talk first about nutrition for a healthy gut, because everything starts with good nutrition. When they say food is your medicine, it's really true. Everything starts with a healthy diet. So if you're including a lot of variety of foods in your diet and they're whole plant foods, we want to try to support the growth of good bacteria by what we're eating. Fiber is super important. I recommend to my clients that they get at least 30 grams of fiber per day. I'm telling you, the majority of people don't get anywhere near that. If you start to track your fiber, I have a fiber evaluation that I give my clients. And when they look at what they actually eat and how little fiber they're getting, it's no wonder that everyone's gut is such a mess, but it does really open your eyes to realizing what you do need to include in your diet. So more fruits and veggies, whole grains, legumes, nuts, and seeds are great sources. Fermented foods are going to be great because fermented foods are going to support the growth of good bacteria. So things like sauerkraut, miso, kimchi, kefir, yogurt, and those contain live probiotics that help enhance your immunity and reduce your risk of infection. So really important to include some of those. If you can get some kind of fermented food into your day, I like to put sauerkraut on my salad, or I make sauces with miso, or I make shakes and smoothies with kefir. So there's lots of ways to include those in your daily diet. Okay, prebiotics and probiotics. You've probably heard both of those terms and you're probably confused. So prebiotics are the food for our probiotics. So our little critters like to eat something to stay healthy. So we want to include prebiotic foods, and that's really just what they like to eat to thrive. So these are living organisms after all, and they do need the right foods to keep them thriving and doing their jobs of protecting us. So some of the great prebiotic foods include oats, onions, garlic and leeks, that family of vegetables, artichokes, bananas, and asparagus. So those are some things to think about including. So, if you're eating a great diet of healthy prebiotic and probiotic foods, you may not need to take a daily probiotic, but what I find is that most people don't eat such a healthy diet that they're including these things on a regular basis in the right amounts and getting enough fiber. So I think it's just safe to say taking a daily probiotic is a good thing. But also focus on including some of these foods, because that's only going to help your body to make and invite and make a hospitable environment for these good bacteria. So work on including some of those foods. Okay, so what is the state of your gut? Knowing your gut is the first step. Know what kinds of foods are things that maybe make you bloated or irritable. There are a lot of different symptoms that can come up when we eat foods that we're sensitive to. So you may find that you get bloated or cranky or even brain fog from a certain food. If you start to keep a little food journal, sometimes that's helpful in seeing. Like a food mood journal is a great thing I do with my clients, where you write down what you're eating on a daily basis and then how you felt right after, a couple of hours after, and even later that day. Just write down what your mood is throughout the day, and how your gut feels, because it's going to be eye-opening, give you a lot of information about what's going on in your gut. And you may have to eliminate some foods temporarily. I know I've had clients who eliminate gluten for a while, and some people for good, and that helps them with the brain fog, and it helps their gut to feel better. And when that gut's feeling better, that immune function is going to be stronger. So some of us have too few of the good bacteria in our intestines and too many of the bad guys. So that's called gut dysbiosis, when you have an imbalance, and that can bring on some symptoms too of uncomfortable gut symptoms. So we want to look at that and talk about getting a probiotic that's going to help straighten that out, and also incorporating all those good foods that we talked about. So the imbalance, like I said, can lead to some of those symptoms, and weakened immunity and chronic inflammation. So we want to avoid those things, and diet is number one, and then supplementing the diet wherever you're falling short with the good probiotics and other supplements as well. But today we're talking about probiotics for the immune system. Okay, so I like to do a quarterly digestive tune-up for myself and with my clients. I run group tune-ups programs, so that people can have that quarterly way of getting the gut straightened out and back to kind of square one, so that we can be healthier in our gut and our immune system. So I really believe that you can't achieve any other health goal without first supporting good digestion. So there's a little digestive evaluation that I have people do, and then I make some supplement recommendations, and then we go through a 30-day digestive tune-up together as a group. So it's a great thing to do on a quarterly basis. So I like to do that, and it will help improve your skin, your digestion, the state of your immune system. It really all starts at your core. So I have a tune-up in October and then in January, so you can visit my website if you need some help supporting your gut, or you're interested in personalizing your nutrition. I do that through DNA health and wellness testing, and also based on your goals. So there's my email address on the screen, my Facebook and Instagram, and that's it. I hope that was helpful. And I love avocados, so I had to put a picture of those in there. And so there you go.
Everybody loves avocados. Who doesn't?
But I don't know why.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Michelle. That was so informative. And of course, going into a new season, this is really important information to feel like people can take control of their immune system. I did think of a few questions that I did want to ask you, starting with, when you say the lack of exercise, do you mean that I have to do intense workouts to be healthy?
No, not at all. I mean, just moving your body every day, whether it's a walk or some stretching or doing some twists or some yoga, just some kind of movement to get the lymphatic system moving and moving those white blood cells throughout the body. Just some type of movement. It does not have to be strenuous or difficult.
Okay, wonderful. And then you talked a lot about the difference between prebiotics and probiotics and how important they are. When I'm going shopping and looking for something like that, will it be on a label or something? Is that how I'll be able to know to find some of those things you mentioned?
Oh, some of the different strains?
Yeah.
Yeah, so those
Go ahead.
strains are on the label, and I look for a nice mixture. And if you focus on those ones that I mentioned, that's a great
Mhm.
start. They are all listed on the label, and then,
Cool.
like I said, incorporating the foods is going to be the first line of defense. But supplementing with that probiotic is a great
Awesome.
supplement.
And then just one more thing, I know, and you know that right now is a super stressful time for myself, for everybody. We're really feeling the pressure of life.
Yes.
What are a few recommendations that you have for avoiding stress taking over my immune system?
Right. Yes, stress is one of those lifestyle factors that can impact your immune system. So, you know, um, I really believe in meditation, yoga, some type of mindfulness practice. I think just breathing. I coach my clients to just do sort of, I call it 4-7-8 breathing. So breathing into a count of 4, holding it for 7, and then really doing a nice long exhale to the count of 8. And if you do a few rounds of that, if you do that 5 to 10 times,
Mhm.
your body won't feel stressed anymore. You'll just get a lot more relaxed. So when you feel that way, take a break and just do a few rounds of that breathing. That's one super helpful thing, I think. And, mindfulness or meditation practice is a great idea. And, the gratitude journal, being thankful and putting down in your journal what you are thankful for, and just recognizing what you do have, takes away the stress of worrying about what you don't have.
Yeah,
So.
that's true. Absolutely. Well, that is awesome. Thank you so much, Michelle, and for everyone
Yeah.
attending. If you have any questions for Michelle or want to ask anything about her classes coming up or what was going on or the immune system, just feel free to put it in the comments section, or she does have her information that you can get in touch with her. And be sure to look out for another Natural Grocers virtual nutrition education and cooking class coming your way soon.